Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this week's reading, I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot. So I kind of have, as I was setting up to do this reading, I realized that I was not in a real reading mindset. And so I thought I'm going to pick the easiest deck I have to read with. So that's why I've chosen the Everyday Witch Tarot. Okay, so once I get into the reading, I always kind of get into my reading mindset, but sometimes it takes me a minute or two. Okay, so I'm joined by my sassy girl, Merlina. I have a feeling she's going to ruin this video because she's been whining to go outside all morning. And then my kitty, Henry. Okay. So let's get into the reading. So I've drawn 3 cards. Each card is going to represent an aspect of the upcoming week. So this first card is going to be Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. All right, so we have the Chariot, which is Major Arcana card number 7. And I love that we have a very powerful Major Arcana card at the beginning of the week. So the Chariot is all about figuring out your direction, what direction you're going to go in. So you may find yourself faced with some big decisions and big choices at the beginning of the week. And there's a couple things I get with this card. So it's not just about making decisions, but it's about this idea that if you're going to pursue something, if you want to go down a particular path, and if you're trying to harness your willpower or harness your energy and your focus into one thing, it's really important that you understand why you're doing this. It helps to know your why, what is motivating you. And not only that, but what might get in your way, what might trip you up, because sometimes we forget to consider that when we're pursuing something, whether we're pursuing a really big goal or a dream. We know we want something and we might kind of know why, but what's the deeper underlying reason why we want this thing, why this thing is important to us? And what was the other thing I said? So knowing your why. Oh yeah, and also asking yourself what might get in my way, what might trip me up, and kind of planning ahead. Planning for, it's like when you're planning a vacation, and I don't know if you do this, but I do this all the time, where when I'm planning a vacation, I always think, okay, what might go wrong? I might lose my luggage, I might miss my connection, et cetera, et cetera. And I always have a little backup plan for if that happens, what I'm going to do if this happens. And I remember one time I went to London, England with my partner, and I thought, what if our shuttle that's supposed to pick us up from the airport and take us to our hotel, what if it doesn't show up and we have to make our own way, on the London Underground? What am I going to do then? And so I actually planned out this whole route of what trains I would get, what route I would take on the Underground to get to my hotel. And we ended up, our flight was delayed 2 or 3 hours, and so I missed my shuttle, and so we ended up having to do that. And I was so glad that I'd thought ahead. Anyway, that's a side story. So the Chariot is about, I feel like this is about making some big decisions. Oh my God, my cat is driving me crazy. Merlina, stop it. It's about big decisions and kind of planning ahead, but also knowing your why, knowing, why you're motivated to go in this particular direction. All right. Because there's nothing worse than putting all your energy and steam into something without really understanding why it's important to you. And I think a lot of us chase goals without really stopping and being like, why am I chasing this thing? Is this truly important to me? Or am I just trying to fulfill someone else's goals? Am I trying to, am I doing this for my ego or am I doing this for my soul? Those are important questions to ask. So the card for the middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, is the Knight of Pentacles. And what I love about this card is that it's very similar I think, in imagery and messages, or symbols, messaging, as the Chariot. So both of these cards show someone who's on a journey, they're moving forward. The Knight of Pentacles, however, is encouraging you to take things slow. You don't have to rush into anything. You have time to think things through, to make a good decision. You want to be careful that you don't fall into stagnation. So there's real value in taking your time and thinking things through, but sometimes there's, a line between doing that and stagnating. So the message with this card, is to really be thoughtful, think things through. That's important, but don't fall into that trap of taking forever to make decisions and taking forever to take, the first step in something. Because I think sometimes we can talk ourselves out of things. And so, there's a time and place where we just need to jump into something and take action and do something. And then there's time to kind of step back and give yourself a little extra minute or two, or, week or two or month or two to really think things through. So the Knight of Pentacles is saying, you have everything, you have all the tools that you need to move forward in your life. So whether that is making big changes, making small changes, small improvements, big improvements, you have what you need, but you may not be able to do it in the time frame that you deem ideal. So you might not be able to make those big changes, in 1 month. It might take you a whole year, but you'll be able to do it. And again, this is really, I think, reinforcing this message of thinking about what direction you're going in. Like, give it some thought and make sure that whatever you're putting your time and energy into, that this has real meaning for you on a soul level, not just an ego kind of level. So this last card is for the end of the week, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups, I get a couple different things when I look at this card. Number one is this idea of non-attachment, of just letting go of the outcome. So the woman on this card is sitting kind of like she's in meditation. She looks like she's at peace, like she's relaxed. She doesn't have a care in the world. And it looks like she's built this big sandcastle in the background, and she's probably spent a lot of time and energy on this sandcastle. And now the tide is coming in and it's going to wash it away. It's going to destroy everything. But she's not even concerned. If anything, she's embracing that. It's about, I feel like this card is about embracing life in all its glory. Embracing the good, the bad, the stressful, the non-stressful, the joy, the pain, all of it. Just embracing everything. The message I get with this card is to make time for meditation. And this doesn't necessarily have to mean the kind of meditation where you are sitting in meditation with your eyes closed, but it's about taking perhaps more of a meditative approach throughout your day, being in the present moment with whatever it is that you're doing. But more than anything, I think it's about detaching from outcome and detaching from your ideas of success and what it means to be successful. So kind of letting that go. Because I think sometimes we get really wrapped up in having beliefs around, I need to be doing this in order to be successful, or I need to make a certain amount of money or be busy all the time or whatever. And this card is really encouraging you to really let go of some of those, some of your programming or some of your beliefs around that, and really practice that idea of not attaching to things, not attaching to physical things, to concepts, to ideas, to beliefs and thoughts, and see what happens. See how difficult it is to do that. Is it easy? Is it difficult? Does it bring you peace? and serenity when you do that. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom out and look at these 3 cards together, and I'm just looking for any repeating themes. I mean, I already talked about how the Chariot and the Knight of Pentacles are very similar. I feel like the beginning of the week is about being on a journey. It's about kind of getting your bearings straight, figuring out your why and what's important to you, and really thinking things through before really committing to a particular decision or path. And then towards the end of the week, it's like you make a decision and then you detach from the outcome. You're like, okay, this is the direction I'm going to go in. And now I'm just going to let go of any preconceived notions or ideas I have about this so that I can find peace and just be fully present in this process. So to me, it looks like actually a pretty powerful week, a really pivotal week. And so pivotal, in fact, that this may even affect, the next few weeks. It may not just be about this week specifically, but this energy, that Chariot energy of moving forward. And that's another thing I get with this is I feel like this reading is really telling you this message that you are moving forward, even if it doesn't feel like it. You're always moving forward, not just in a linear kind of physical way, but also in a spiritual way. I feel like this 9 of Cups is about kind of letting go a bit and progressing on a more spiritual level. So that is basically, that sums these cards up. That is your weekly tarot card reading. As always, I invite you to look at these cards yourself and notice what stands out to you. Notice if you're getting a different message from me. And if you feel like sharing, please feel free to do so. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this reading helpful and enjoyable. And if you enjoyed this reading, I do them every week, so you can subscribe to my channel. And you can also check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com. I've got all kinds of fun stuff on my website. I've got tarot card spreads, I've got tarot exercises, tarot tips, tutorials, deck reviews, all kinds of great stuff. So I'm going to put the link to my site in the description box below this video, and I hope you have a wonderful week.